Seeker, have you ever felt it? That strange, silent shift in the air. The moment, the energy in the room changes. A conversation that was flowing just an hour ago now feels stilted. One person is pulling closer while the other is already mentally halfway out the door, checking their phone, thinking about tomorrow's meeting. It's a disconnect so common, so universally felt, yet we rarely have the words for it. We just label it. We call him a jerk, or we call her crazy. But what if it's neither? What if you're both just puppets, and the strings are being pulled by forces you can't even see? Today, I'm going to tell you about two cases. One involves a high-flying investment banker in London back in 2018, whose life took a sharp turn after a single Tuesday night. The other, a young creative couple in Austin, Texas just last year, who nearly destroyed a beautiful relationship over this exact invisible force. Stay with me, Seeker, because by the time we're done, you won't just understand them, you'll understand yourself, and you'll finally see the logic you've always felt, but could never explain. So let's get one thing straight. Stop blaming crazy. Stop blaming asshole. Those are lazy, emotional dead ends. The real answers are far more elegant and infinitely more useful. The truth is a dance between two powerful partners. First, there's biology. The ancient primal script hardwired into your DNA over millions of years of evolution. It's the chemistry that floods your brain, the hormones that dictate your impulses. Biology is doing the heavy lifting. Then there's culture, the software that's been downloaded into your mind since the day you were born. It's the movies you watched, the advice your parents gave you, the expectations society quietly places on you. Culture is doing the heavy lifting. When you misunderstand this dynamic, the stakes are immense. It leads to resentment, heartbreak, and a profound sense of loneliness, even when you're with someone. But when you understand it, that's where the power is. It allows you to stop reacting and start understanding. It's the key to empathy, to deeper connection, to navigating the treacherous waters of modern relationships with clarity and grace. So, let's talk about that banker in London. Let's call him James. It was 2018. The market was volatile. James worked 80-hour weeks. His life was a high-stakes game of numbers and risk. His relationships were no different. Transactional, fast, and designed for one purpose: stress relief. He met a woman, we'll call her Chloe, a graphic designer, at a gallery opening. The attraction was immediate. For James, this was a familiar script. The chase was everything. Before their date, his biology was already priming him for the hunt. Here's the quick science. Before sex, many men experience a significant spike in testosterone. This isn't just a feeling, it's a measurable biochemical event. Fast visual cues trigger arousal. That spike fuels pursuit, it fuels excitement, and crucially, it fuels overconfidence. It narrows focus to a single objective, like a predator locking onto its prey. For James, securing this win with Chloe felt as critical as closing a multi-million-pound deal. They had a fantastic night, great dinner, witty conversation, undeniable chemistry. They went back to his flat, and for James, the mission was accomplished. The deal was closed, and just as quickly as it rose, his testosterone began to plummet, replaced by a wave of prolactin, a hormone that induces a refractory period and a feeling of satiation, even sleepiness. His brain, which moments before was laser-focused on Chloe, was now rebooting, shifting focus back to his default state. Work, stress, the next day's market opening. But for Chloe, her story was just beginning. For many women, the most significant chemical shift happens sex. Orgasm can trigger a flood of oxytocin, often called the bonding hormone or cuddle chemical. This is the same hormone that facilitates bonding between a mother and a newborn. It doesn't just feel good, it actively rewires the brain for connection. It boosts closeness. It boosts emotional processing. It makes you want to talk, to share, to connect, to transform a physical act into an emotional bond. So you have James, whose biology is telling him mission complete, disengage, and Chloe, whose biology is screaming connection beginning, engage. He's thinking about spreadsheets. She's thinking about the future, even if just the future of the next few hours. He felt the silence as peace. She felt it as a deafening rejection. The exact same moment, two completely different realities. If you've reached this far, Seeker, here's the twist we almost never talk about. This isn't just about one-night stands. This biological timing difference can be even more destructive in long-term, committed relationships, because that's where the expectations are highest and the hurt cuts deepest. Which brings me to that couple in Austin. Let's call them Liam and Maya. They'd been together for 3 years, deeply in love, living together, talking about marriage. But they were stuck in a painful cycle. They would be intimate, and almost immediately afterward, Liam would become quiet, withdrawn. He'd grab his phone, scroll through social media, or say he needed to work on a music project. To Maya, this felt like a profound betrayal. Her oxytocin was surging. She wanted to cuddle, to talk, to bask in the afterglow and reinforce their bond. His withdrawal felt like a direct statement. This was just physical for me. You are not important. She would get angry, accuse him of not loving her. He, in turn, would get defensive. He couldn't understand it. He loved her immensely. Why was she picking a fight now, in a moment that should be peaceful? He just wanted some space to decompress. Do you see the trap, Seeker? They were both reacting perfectly to their own internal chemistry. But they were interpreting the other's reaction through a cultural lens. The cultural script taught to Maya says that a man who truly loves you will want to hold you and whisper sweet nothings after intimacy. The script taught to Liam says that after an intense experience, you retreat to your cave to recharge. Men are taught to chase. Women are taught to value connection. Mix these hormones with these expectations, and you get dramatic, painful timing differences. This isn't a mystery. It's an equation. Biology plus culture. And it was tearing them apart. They weren't fighting each other. They were fighting a ghost. A ghost made of testosterone, oxytocin, and decades of social conditioning. So how do you fight a ghost? You turn on the light. You stop seeing the other person as the enemy. The takeaway is this, and I want you to burn this into your mind. Neither side is crazy. They are simply reacting to a potent cocktail of hormones, past experiences, and immense social pressure. The solution isn't to change your biology. You can't. The solution is to bring awareness to it, to talk about it. The best move? Talk before and after. This is the practical step. Beforehand, you can say, hey, just so you know, I tend to get really cuddly and talkative after we're together. It's how I feel close. Or, just a heads up, Sometimes I need a few minutes of quiet space afterward to just come back to myself. It has nothing to do with you. This isn't unromantic, it's the opposite. It's showing your partner that you care enough to help them understand your operating system. And then you respect boundaries. You check in. After, instead of silent resentment, you can ask, "What do you need right now?" It's a simple question that can diffuse 1,000 potential arguments. And most importantly, you have to be honest with yourself. Ask the hard question, am I seeking connection or am I just seeking relief? There is no wrong answer, but dishonesty about the answer is a guaranteed path to causing pain. For Liam and Maya, this understanding was a revelation. They had the talk, not about their relationship problems, but about their biological and cultural programming. Liam started to understand Maya's need for connection wasn't a criticism of him. Maya began to see Liam's need for space wasn't a rejection of her. They came up with a plan, 10 minutes of mandatory, quiet cuddling after intimacy. No phones, no talk of work. After that, he could have his space if he needed it. It worked. It saved them. Understanding this switch, from testosterone to oxytocin, from pursuit to bonding, from before to after, doesn't solve everything, but it reframes the entire problem. It takes the chaos of emotion and gives it a logical framework. It replaces blame with empathy. It makes things less chaotic and infinitely more human. So, seeker, the next time you feel that strange shift in the air, don't reach for a label. Reach for this knowledge. See the invisible strings. See the biology. See the culture. And then, choose to see the human being in front of you, who is likely just as confused as you are. If you watched this far, I know you're not just looking for entertainment, you're looking for answers. I drop new stories like this every week. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you don't miss the next piece of the puzzle. The journey of understanding is a long one, but you don't have to walk it alone.